Hey guys, welcome to Fearless Cooking. You know, today it's Easter, and I get it that this is not a traditional Easter meal. We're talking about air fryer chicken wings, celery root, and parsnips, and then a green bean almondine. But then this is not a typical Easter. It's, you know, kind of Easter in the time of Rona. So, you know, I hope that you and your family are safe. You're getting to spend some quality time with your family. I guess this amount of time to be together, you know, the quality might start to be ebbing a little bit, but hopefully everybody is, you know, still loving each other. So anyway, we're gonna like kind of do this thing in stages. I'll kind of go through the ingredients real quick. Tell you what, before I even get to the ingredients, I got a pot of water over here. Go ahead and get the water on to boil. So I'm gonna I've got this thing filled up to about here. And you know, it's like what we're gonna end up doing is peeling and dicing the celery root and the parsnips. We'll cut them up. It doesn't have to be any kind of an exact size, but we'll get them in the pot going. And once we get the water boiling, we'll put a couple of tablespoons of salt in. The stuff for the bean green vinaigrette, I've got, what was this? How much olive oil did you do? Quarter of a cup.
Yeah, quarter of a cup. Yep.
Quarter of a cup and a couple of tablespoons, I think it was, of apple cider vinegar. Yep. I got a generous pinch of red pepper flake, probably be a little over a teaspoon of fresh thyme. I've got a couple of pretty fat cloves of garlic, a big shallot, and then I'll be toasting some almonds, and I'm going to grate some pecorino romano.
And those are really good slivered almonds,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, if you didn't have slivered, you could like chop like regular almonds.
Okay.
And I've got the window open because once I get the air fryer going, sometimes it gets a little smoky in here. For the wings, I'm just using these are the ones from Costco that are not the organic ones. I haven't been able to find those since this whole kind of shutdown started. But I'm not going to do any kind of sauce with them. I used to always think I didn't like chicken wings because I realized they just buried them under this super sweet, kind of funky tasting sauce. And what I realized was if I just fix the wings, I don't put any oil on them. I just put salt and maybe a little pepper on them. Put them in the air fryer. I love them. So if you want to put a sauce or a dressing with them, by all means, you know, be my guest.
And if people don't have an air fryer, how might they?
I would say put them. So we're going to do this at about 375 in the air fryer. I would say in the oven probably about 425.
Okay.
And you'll just kind of have to pay attention to them.
And just on a sheet.
On a cookie sheet. Like yeah. If you could put them like. I've got these, you can get like the cooling racks, you know, like you put cookies on. If you put those in your sheet tray, it'll get them up off the sheet tray and it'll let them cook a little easier.
Yeah, and they will be sitting in the grease. Okay.
And then also for the vinaigrette, there's going to be the juice from a half a lemon.
Okay.
So, and the wine today, you know, most of the time I'm like, I'm just drinking whatever. So this is, Cameron Hughes is probably my favorite kind of wine option. The guy, what he started out doing a long time ago is he would go buy the grapes from some real high-end wineries. And actually, I guess he would even get this, like, I don't know if it was the juice or actually the wine. But like he might buy the same stuff that somebody's going to put in a bottle and sell for $100 that you can get for like 25 or 30 from him. So if you haven't checked out Cameron Hughes, I would suggest it. This is like a 2013 Meritage from Napa Valley.
Nice. And
it's tasty. So, yes, very good. All right, so we're going to get the parsnips peeled. And, you know, I'm just going to rinse them off because I'm going to peel them anyway. But I don't know that there's dirt on them. And we have Joanna's dog over here, Leo, and so he's going to want to, make debuts here from time to time, but we're going to do our best to ignore him.
He thinks it's time to go outside.
Yeah.
Alas, it is not.
Yes. So, and he'll be messing with the curtains over there, so I'm sure the light will like change significantly as we go along. All right, so got this one pretty much peeled. Then we'll just cut the end off.
So parsnips are a pretty nutrient dense sort of vegetable.
You know, and I haven't really like looked at, okay, what minerals and vitamins there. My thing was just, when I first started doing keto, I was trying to figure out, okay, what are some other options, right, besides potatoes all the time? And, you know, and it's like, if you do a Whole30 now, why potatoes are listed on it? Because I think, you know, my big thing is, hey, if you're getting your carbs from food, right? And when I say food, I mean like from whole food and not from pasta, because when you think about it, nobody eats. Huh?
I'm gonna let the dog.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
When you think about pasta, you don't eat wheat, right? You eat the processed food. Okay. So it's like, you know, if you're getting your carbs from something like parsnips, then I think that's the reason that Whole30 has kind of added potatoes back kind of into the mix. But, you know, what I figured out when I was kind of doing all that experimenting with all the different foods is I like the taste. It's got more personality. Yeah. So, you know, what you definitely, with the celery root, you get that celery taste.
Yeah, it's really yummy.
Yeah, and when you add butter and you add yogurt to it, you also kind of get a little bit of that, you know, kind of funk from the yogurt. So
it's almost like mashed potatoes, but not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like mashed potatoes with personality.
Yeah.
So I just.
We got these in the CSA box?
No, these I got from Central Market.
Oh, okay.
And I either, you know, usually I can find these at Central Market or Whole Foods, but they'll go through periods where neither place has them. Because it's funny, they'll get them in and then they'll say, man, they just sit here, nobody buys them. And it's like, man, people don't realize what they're missing out on.
Do you get organic?
Yeah, I usually do. And, you know, I don't know that it makes that much difference. You know, I don't know kind of where these things fall on the, like, herbicide standpoint. But the other thing for me, more and more with food, is it's like, hey, I would rather, especially if I can find it, you know, that it's been locally done, I want to support farmers and ranchers locally. And I want to support people that it's like the fewer, you know, chemical fertilizers that we're using, the better off we are from a, you know, kind of an energy footprint, as well as from a kind of regenerative agriculture standpoint. Okay, so now then all I'm going to do.
So you didn't have to cut off the end of the celery?
I'm going to do that
okay.
On the celery root, yeah,
okay.
when I start to kind of set it up to dice it. So I'm just going to cut it down, the parsnip down the middle. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of cut it into matchsticks, and then I'll like dice it from there.
Okay.
You know, all this is just to kind of serve the purpose of getting it to cook faster. Because there's really no point in having it sit there forever in the pot.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that one.
And about how long will it take for this to cook?
Probably 20 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, what we'll do is we'll just kind of let it hang out and boil and get soft, and then once I get everything else done, then we'll just do those at the end. That's what's nice about this sort of stuff is, you know, you don't have to be like, oh God, wait, I've got 35 seconds to get that off. And, you know, I'm going to use the immersion blender. You know, once again, it just, to me, this kind of shows the versatility of that immersion blender.
So You do need a good sharp knife for these.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I think my opinion on good sharp knives is if you don't have one, you're a kitchen accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not like that you can't cut yourself with a sharp knife, but I think it's a lot easier to cut yourself with a dull knife. Just because it's, it doesn't cut cleanly through stuff. And, you want to make sure that you're using the kind of safe grip, the whole claw thing. There we go. And just turn these to the side. And I'm just, you could cut them smaller than this, but these will be fine.
Okay.
And one thing I was thinking about with these, you could probably add horseradish. Would probably be pretty interesting to this too.
Oh, I bet it would. It would really spice it up.
Kind of make this a big part of a Passover thing. Actually, we have horseradish in there. We'll have to add that to like a day's worth. All right, so with this, and that's the one thing with the celery root is you get all this kind of veining stuff in here from where, it's like seams in the plant or something. I'm going to cut this little end off, but I don't worry about that other stuff. I mean, it doesn't come out just as like Snow White, but hey, it's all right. This isn't about
really
perfection.
Cutting this.
Huh?
To be really careful cutting this one.
Well, it's just the whole thing with what I realize is it's just moving the knife forward. Like, so the whole thing with cutting is you're not trying to cut down, you're trying to cut through. Yeah. And if you do that, as long as you're not trying, like there's always horror stories about things like spaghetti squash and stuff, people trying to cut it. But, with stuff like this, it's just, try and get a flat surface and, keep it kind of secured. Because like this is a little questionable, but fortunately I didn't wound myself.
That's good. You're not going to cut those across?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were going to cut those across. No?
No, okay. No, I'm just going to leave those. Okay. That's all going to cut about the same. Yeah. Okay. And, since I'm going to let this kind of hang out in there, I'm not going to really worry about is the water, coming into a like rolling boil. I'm just going to go ahead and get them in there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I will use this. So
this will be a trick.
Yeah.
Across the.
I feel like I need a dustpan.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but there's one of them that's already made it to the floor. Sure, we'll find it. Actually, I see it.
And no, he did not put it in the pot. That's good.
No.
That would be bad. Even though it's a clean floor.
Yes, it is. All right. Now then. Get that in there. Okay. I'm going to wait until it starts to boil before I put the salt in.
Oh, really? Why's that?
Because supposedly you can get pitting on the bottom of the pan if it goes down and just hangs out on the bottom. I don't like get too obsessive about it, but it's like I'll just wait until it gets cranking. Okay. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and get the wings on.
Okay.
And I'm just going to move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm just going to, I don't want to overcrowd them. Let's just see how this works. And then I'll just salt them once I get them on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a 2-batch thing.
think the thing we learned on that one is clean out the bottom of the tray before you put in the second batch.
Yes.
That's where the smoke really.
Yeah, it kind of convinces you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wash my hands.
Yeah, raw chicken. That's
Yeah,
a good
that's
idea.
one of my. That raw pork. For whatever reason, I'm not as freaked out about beef, and I'm not sure why. I'm just not.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna just salt and pepper. That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I've got that right here. So this is a little pepper. Let me move these.
And just one side.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and then once I turn them over, then I'll hit the other side.
So you're gonna cook them for
10 minutes.
Okay, and then turn them over.
Yep.
Okay. This is that Himalayan salt.
Yeah, and it's the only kind of salt I like, kind of a hard no on is like the iodized table salt, just because it makes stuff bitter. Okay, so I'm going to put them on for 10 minutes, and this thing is like notorious about not really being accurate. So would you
set the timer?
10 minutes? Yeah. All right, so now we got that cranking. I'm going to move this out of the way. So I don't need that again. Let's get this stuff prepped for the green beans. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to pull the.
And are you doing the vinaigrette first?
I'm going to get it all prepped.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way, because I'm going to toast the almonds.
Okay.
So I'm going to get everything done, and then that way, all we're going to have to do then with the green beans, the green beans, what I did with those is that I had frozen ones, so I just put those in some water to get them to defrost. So those are just sitting here hanging out.
Okay.
And if you had like fresh green beans, which I put in the instructions for your prep, is to blanch those ahead of time and put them in an ice bath. So all we're doing now is we're just getting all the kind of pieces put together so that we'll be ready to go on that. So I'm just going to pull the thyme off the stem. I don't chop the thyme because it's like hell. Once you pull it off of there, it's kind of the same thing. And this is some that I have had, man, I don't know how many weeks now I've had this, and it's been sitting out in the garage in the fridge, in the garage fridge, in a like a jar with water in it, with a clear plastic bag over it with a rubber band around the bottom, and it's kept it in great shape.
Great.
So yeah, because it used to, it's like I just get herbs, stick them in a bag, you stick them in the hydrator, and it's like, in a few days they're already starting to get nasty. And it's like it pains me to just throw that stuff away. So, and next week's Fearless Cooking is going to be recorded. It's our anniversary weekend. So we're going to be, hanging out. It's not like we're going to go anywhere.
No, we're not going anywhere.
But, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do an Instapot chicken thigh, kind of a stew. And I'm going to use, it'll be chicken thighs, sweet potatoes, collards, what else am I going to put in it? Onion, garlic. Anyway, I'll get the recipe posted, and that way too, if you want to, cook it earlier in the week, you can. I know that the weather here is like tonight. I think it's dropping here a bunch, so that kind of lends itself to, to more of a stew.
Yeah.
So we get this stuff out of the way, and I'll start on the garlic and the shallot. Yeah, for a while, like I went in, I don't know how many weeks ago it was, and they didn't have any shallots. And then this last week, Whole Foods had them.
That's good news.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to do is keep my grocery store forays down to, once a week, once every 10 days. I may kind of break that this week. I've got some Dove that I'm going to do a Dove Cabernet yogurt sauce with and see how that turns out. And I would do a fearless cooking with that, but it's like, you know, that's not an item that most people are going to have at home.
Going to go get at the store.
No. And actually, the funny thing is that was the first meal that I ever cooked for Jude back how many years ago?
Oh, more than we can count.
Yeah, like
that was close
50,
to 40,
60 years
no,
ago?
not quite that long, but just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 40-ish years.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
And I was making that shit up back then, just like I am now. So, you know, it's like it seems like it would work together. That was before Google.
That's right. Okay, so tell us about.
All right, so all I'm doing is I just pull the skin off of that one, and I'm just going to slice it real fine. And this is to go in the vinaigrette. And I just, you know, I don't think I want to dice this because I think having pieces of shallot will be nice.
Yeah.
But I want them real thin.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm wondering, does everybody out there have your mask? I found, so I started kind of freaking out because, you know, they were talking about you need to wear a mask if you're going out. And I did the whole bandana thing when I went to Costco last time, and it always felt like it was about to fall off. And so I decided, all right, I got to get myself a proper mask. And I decided I was going to sew one. Yeah, right. Maybe I can cook. I sure still can't sew. Somebody in the neighborhood had posted something on Nextdoor, so I actually got one from her. And then I saw a thing in the local paper about somebody that, what was it? I guess he did maybe a story about the guy. He had a company where they were making aprons, and they were like, well, nobody's buying aprons, right? I mean, their primary market, I guess, was like restaurants. So now he and his crew switched over and making masks, so I got some from him. So I think we're going to be in good shape on the mask front. But I just, you know, if you don't have that like sewing spirit with you, then I'd say, you know, look online, find the places around you where they're doing them. And so we're doing garlic now.
Okay.
Okay. So all I'm doing is just peeling it, and once again, I'm going to just slice this super fine. And I'll probably actually mince this.
Are you going to put the shallots and the garlic back in a container together?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. This all I wanted is so that when it's time to go, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all in a bowl. Okay. And I'm going to mix all that together.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, because kind of the one thing is having that vinegar will also kind of calm the garlic and the shallot down a little bit.
Why you're boiling water also?
Hope so. Let's see. Yep. So I'm going to put a little, and on the salt, I'm just going to.
About how much are you trying to?
A couple of tablespoons.
Oh, okay. Quite a bit.
Yeah, because you want it kind of like seawater, is what they say.
Okay.
Because what happens when you cook vegetables and you salt the water, then it helps get the salt into the vegetable.
And will you'll be draining?
Yeah, I got a colander over there.
So we've got about 2.5 minutes for the.
Perfect. Yeah, I've had this all
round
done by that.
Notice when you eat chicken wings out, they always have like ranch dressing and celery sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess the celery root is sort of taking the place of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's like I think ranch dressing is one that's frequently done with wings. It's either that or it's the buffalo sauce, right? And it's like, you know, most of that stuff is so sweet. It's sweet, and it's like kind of this kind of an unnatural level of tangy, and I'm just like, you know, it's just not my thing. Because once I realized how much I like chicken wings.
Yeah, it takes away from the flavor of them. Yeah,
yeah,
they're just so flavorful.
Well, Ethan taught me something a long time ago. My son is the chef. He said, you know, there's a lot of ingredients you just need to get out of their way and, you know, let them shine. And that's what I try to do with this stuff.
Okay, what are you doing?
Okay, so now I just put the apple cider vinegar in. Okay. Now I'm going to put the extra virgin olive oil.
The shallots and the garlic in a bowl. With okay.
And I'm getting ready to put the pepper flakes in.
Okay.
Okay. I'm also going to put the thyme in. And now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to toast the almonds. But first, I'm going to have some more wine.
When does the mustard go in?
Oh, I guess it should go in now. So what we're going to do with the mustard is we're just going to put us in a shot. Oops. There we go. That's a glug.
About.
Oh, that's probably a tablespoon.
Okay.
We'll just use a little fork. Kind of get this all nice and stirred up.
And about 7 seconds before your wings are going to.
Perfect.
So pretty good timing there.
Yep. All right, and then I'll do. Yep. All right. I'm gonna move this out of the way, and then I will put a hot pad down.
You're right. The timer on the oven is not very accurate.
Yeah, and it's, you know, what happens is you burn stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So flip these over, and you know there's obviously hotter spots in there because like these are kind of golden on the top. But they're already, I mean, these things are probably already at a temp that's done, but I like that crispiness on there.
You definitely want them cooked all the way.
Yeah, yeah. But also, it's like, even if they're, you know, at temp, I like the crunch too. Mm-hmm. And, you know, these are without any, you know, oil or anything on them, but it's like, yeah, but they've got, you know, they've got skin on them.
Yeah, so there's plenty of fat there.
Yeah. So I'm just going to hit them with a little bit of salt. And I'll put a little pepper on them. Yeah, see it?
Yeah.
It wasn't horribly off, but just enough to where, you know, because it's just mechanical, it's not like some kind of a digital countdown. It's just a spring. All right, so you'll set it for 7 minutes.
7 minutes for side chips, okay.
I'll just kind of ballpark it there. All right, now then, we're going to get the almonds toasted.
Okay.
So all I'm going to do with that, I'm going to grab a spoon. This thing lit up. Just going to get that a little bit.
You don't add any oil or anything in these, right? They just toast right in.
Yeah, because all I'm wanting to do is just, you know, get a little bit of a toast going. It doesn't have to be, you know, like super serious. I kind of watch to see, you start to see kind of smoke around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of want to move it around so you don't start getting them burned.
It's a little bit crunchier.
Yeah, and it, you know, when you toast something, you start to kind of change the composition of it. You add new flavor profiles to it. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what kind of flavor theme we'll do with the chicken. It might be maybe kind of a
Moroccan even?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that might be a good,
The chicken thighs,
Mhm.
sweet potatoes, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of a North African. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So that might mean some cumin. What's
Yeah. So it's like
you know,
one of the things is I've got some of these. Pinsy's has like different. Well, like this is a Turkish one. Let's see what it has. So it's got salt, garlic, cumin, cherry black pepper, Turkish oregano, sweet paprika, sumac, cayenne red pepper, and cilantro. I'll try and stay away from like a proprietary blend, but we'll use some of that maybe for cues.
Yeah. That's good. Boy, something smells good. Is that the almonds?
Probably. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of your first cue that they're moving. Yeah, I don't know what you're smelling.
Yeah, maybe the chicken. Maybe
yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
But so you'll look at that blend and.
Yeah, and I'm going to look at some different ones in there because it's like, one of the things we could do, which everybody will have, is curry, which also works really well with all those ingredients.
Absolutely.
And that is maybe a little more accessible right now for folks.
Mm-hmm.
At Central Market, the bulk section is still open. I don't know if Pinsy's is still shipping. They may have stopped shipping for a while. I'll check on that and let you know because they have some great spice blends.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I did one this morning with eggs that was called Balti. And in fact, let me grab that one real quick. It's, where did that one go? Oh, here it is. So it is coriander, garlic, ginger, cumin, dandy cut chilies, whatever that is, Ceylon cinnamon, brown mustard seed, cardamom, cloves, fennel, fenugreek. Yeah, you can smell these. Yeah, some of them are getting burned on the top, so let's dump them all.
Okay.
Okay, so we got that one done. And there. This stuff is probably like, it's kind of whenever I want it. Where were we? Tramusa, whatever. Star anise, Ewan, black cardamom, cilantro, aniseed, and bay leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so.
Okay, 2.5 minutes on the chicken.
Yeah, let me see how it's looking. It's smelling like it might be there. Yeah, let's give it. Yeah, I think 2 minutes will be good.
Okay.
All right, so we've got everything we need. I could start let's do this. We'll wait till that's done, then we'll pull this stuff off. Pull the root vegetables off, put them through the colander.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you go to cook the green beans, what's the plan for that?
So all you got to do with that is we'll just put the vinaigrette in the skillet, and then we're going to put the. Actually, I tell you what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to grab some wax. Let's see. I'll just use some parchment paper, and I'm going to grate some pecorino romano on it.
And what are you going to be using that for?
That's going to go on the green beans.
Okay. While they're cooking?
Yes.
Okay.
Or right at the end.
Okay.
This way I've got it done. Because you can do it over it, but this way I can kind of give people an idea of how much. And, this is by far my favorite way to buy cheese rather than get it already pre-grated.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much this is. It's just a pile, which is
good.
It's like a scientific amount.
That's a good amount.
Mm-hmm. So getting ready to lose a load there. Yeah, there we go. All right, perfect. Got that done. We'll just slip this off to the side.
Okay. You got about 30 seconds on your chicken, so keep your tummy.
All right, so now then, yeah, you can smell it. so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a plate. We'll put the chicken on the plate. And for people that were freaking out going, hey, wait, you turned that chicken. I did, but the chicken was already at temp. I wasn't worried about it. So.
What do you mean?
So I touched the chicken to turn it over halfway through, and I didn't wash these. But the chicken was already like browned on one side, so I wouldn't. In other words, it was at its safe temp. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to move. Set it over here.
A little bit of a challenge. There we go.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to wipe this off with a couple of paper towels just so that I don't. Yeah, because what happens is, yeah, that stuff just starts to kind of overwhelm you in here.
Yeah. Getting big chunks of grease off.
Yeah, big chunks, and just make sure that it's not pooling down in there.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about getting it completely, but I just want it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I mean, this place was like, it looked like, LA before COVID virus.
That's true. It was quite smooth.
Yeah. This back in here, and we'll put the other chicken on. We'll start getting everything else done.
What's so great about these is it makes a great meal, but it's also just a nice snack when you just need a little protein, something quick, and they're good cold.
So you just said something that I think is, you just said the magic word around weight management. It's like a lot of people get hungry for a snack and they go get cookies or chips or whatever. And what I really want people to understand is that protein is a great snack, and if you get in a habit of like kind of snacking on protein, it's hard to overeat protein.
Right.
And it just is kind of what your body is looking for.
Yeah,
so,
you don't need to eat a lot.
Yeah, so if you kind of always have like, chicken wings or chicken thighs or something like that that's easy just to kind of grab and nibble on, it's for me, it's a lot easier to, I don't start adding weight when I do that. Oh, you know what I'm missing in the marinade? Just half a lemon, so I'll put that in there.
Okay. All right, so just salt and peppering chicken wings.
Yep.
Did you pepper them?
I didn't. Let me put some pepper
on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to put them back in.
Yep.
All right, 10 minutes, right?
Yep.
To get it started. Okay,
now then, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pour the. Let me just double check these, but I'm positive they're done.
You're checking the root vegetables right now?
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the lemon in the. Actually, I'm gonna sit right there for a second and do this.
Okay, so you're doing what now?
Yeah, I'm putting the lemon juice, a half a lemon, in the marinade.
Oh, okay. Just adds such a nice brightness to it.
It does. All right. Now then, taste these. Oh yeah. I can tell when I touch them.
They're soft?
Yep.
Okay.
So
cool. Okay, so what's the plan?
Now it's just pour these, the root vegetables through the colander. Yeah, that might leave a mark. Okay, move the hot pad over here.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm just going to put them back in the pot
Okay.
because I'm going to blend it in the pot.
Okay.
There. Let's let that hang out for just a second. Let's get the green beans going.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab the pot, skillet, and get a fire going.
Cooking them with like medium or high?
Yeah,
or?
I mean that's, you know, it all is so dependent, but that's probably a medium high.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just going to get the stir this up one more time.
So you're getting the vinaigrette
Oh,
first.
yeah, I'm going to put it because because the green beans, you know, if you blanched them already, right? Or if you, you know, like these are frozen or thawed, they're already kind of, it's not going to take a long time to get them ready.
Right.
So just put this in there. Try to get all that good garlic in there. All right. Let this heat up just a little bit.
And these flavors are so good with the chicken wings and these green beans.
This all just works really well
nice
together.
Combination, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, this stuff is already starting to sizzle a little bit. It doesn't take very long. And man, the smell off of that is just delightful.
Oh wow, I just got a whiff.
Yeah, yeah.
Fabulous.
And just put the green beans in.
Okay.
I got a sink full of dishes over here.
What happens when you cook?
It does. And I'm just trying to stir them in. And then once we kind of get the green beans where they're hot, then I'll add the almonds and the pecorino in.
Okay.
And then I'll do the root vegetables.
Great.
This is one of those, Megan and I were talking about this the other day. It's like, I think the biggest challenge with cooking is to get everything done at the same time.
Yeah.
And this one kind of helps with that because everything there's several of these things kind of have a little bit of flexibility as far as what constitutes done.
Yeah.
You know? It's like with eggs, when they're done, they're done. You cook them longer at your peril.
Yeah.
With root vegetables, you know,
They can sit there for a
yeah.
little bit.
Just trying to get them mixed in. In a second, I'll taste the green bean and see if it's getting hot.
Wow, it smells heavenly.
You know, the lemon, the vinegar, the onion, the garlic, and the thyme. I mean,
good fresh ingredients.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, these were frozen green beans. And used to, I just like kind of turn my nose up at frozen green beans. These are great. They're, so Lindsay told me how to pronounce these the other day. Haricots vert. I thought I was going to say it. I used to call it haricots verts, but that's not it. But I'll keep working on it, guys.
There you go.
All right. Let's see. They're getting there.
So you're waiting. What is it you're looking for them to get warm through?
I just want to get them hot, and then I'll add the almonds to them and the pecorino.
Okay.
And then all I have to do is actually let me do this. Let me just turn them down. Let's get the other done. So we move the cheese out of the way. Now let's move this over here. God, dang it, that's hot.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Be careful.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Now, that would have been tragic. All right.
Okay, no more wine. We're cutting you off.
So now then, I'm going to add the yogurt, and that's a half a cup. And I'm going to add, this is a couple of tablespoons of butter. And Let's do a little salt and pepper. A little pepper. All right. Now, we're just going to use the immersion blender.
Turning down your green beans.
Yeah, just a little bit. How much time is here? A minute?
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
minutes?
just under 3 minutes. So.
All right, perfect.
Good timing.
All right, so this, I don't want them like crazy smooth. I like the chunks, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of a semblance of, like mashed potatoes.
Kind of a mashed potato. It looks like it.
Yeah. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a second.
Okay.
So once you've already put your finger in it and licked it, you can't do
Yeah,
it
no, you
again.
can't do that again.
I saw you watching to see if I was going to.
Against the rules. Yeah.
All right. So that's what we're looking like there.
Ooh, that looks yummy.
Yeah, so I'm going to put these back over here. Now then, this is pretty close to done. Let's check on these. Make sure I don't have anything burning in there. Yeah, those are probably ready to go over.
Okay, it says it has 1.5 minutes left.
Yeah, I know, but I think part of what it is too is that this is already kind of hot.
Yeah, it was already hotter. Yep.
So we're just going to flip these.
Okay. This is going to keep us fed for several meals.
Yes, and that's what's nice about this is it's like there's enough here that, it's going to be dinner tonight and then snacks and,
And it all warms up nicely.
Yeah, already, like you said, it's even great to straight out of the fridge. All right, so 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes.
Uh-huh. Huh, must have, I don't know.
Okay.
All right. All right, that's done. This is done. I'll hit it with the, okay.
Almonds.
Yeah, there's the almonds, and now here comes the pecorino. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, that looks really yummy.
Mm-hmm. And the green beans, you get kind of some two-tone with those because of the acidity.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, yeah, they may not be quite as Instagram, worthy, but it's like, hey, man, they taste fabulous.
Flavor is amazing.
Yes. And so, that pecorino is now all incorporated. So I think we're getting a plate. Guys, I'll just let you know that the rest of these are going to come out perfect. Yeah. All right, so let me grab a plate. Whoa, that was tragic. All right. Let's see others. There it is.
Little green beans on there.
Yep.
I don't know, this could be a new good Easter dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs ham?
That's right. Yeah, God, ham was never one of my favorites. I mean, pork chop would be great, but that was never a traditional meal. And, ham, the most of it is like it's so overly salty.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, here's our plate. I hope that you enjoy yours, and I appreciate you spending your Easter afternoon with me. So I will have the instructions in the video out next week for the chicken thigh stew, and look forward to cooking with you guys again very soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.